So I was looking over the search and rescue stories from this past weekend, and I noticed they all took place on the same mountain, which is Mount Monadnock. So on Saturday, November 22nd, there was a 41-year-old hiker and her boyfriend who hiked to the summit of Mount Monadnock. They made it to the summit just fine, but on their descent, when they had about a mile left of the hike, the hiker suffered an ankle injury, and because of that, she couldn't put any weight on her ankle. Her boyfriend called 911 at 3:16 p.m. and by 4:15 p.m. several rescue crews made their way to the hikers, and they were able to put the hiker in a rescue litter and carry her the 1 mile back to the parking lot. They made it out at around 6:30 p.m. and it is said that both of these hikers were experienced and they were prepared, but it just shows that an ankle injury can happen very quickly and to anyone. So these videos that I put out are possible because of the sponsor of this video, which is Element. Element makes sugar-free electrolyte drink mix packets, and they are perfect to bring with you hiking. Like I said, Element is sugar-free. They don't have any junk ingredients. The flavors are really good, and the ratio of electrolytes in there, the sodium, potassium, and magnesium, that's science-backed, so it's really going to help you fill you up with electrolytes and keep you hydrated. So there's packets of Element that you can add to your water, or there's actually canned sparkling electrolyte drinks on their website too. So if you want to check them all out, you can head to drinkelement.com/Nahamsha. By going to that link and placing an order, you'll actually get a free sample pack with 8 sticks of Element thrown in for free with your order. So you're going to get 2 sticks of each flavor: raspberry salt, citrus salt, watermelon salt, and orange salt. These are Element's most popular flavors, so they're going to be really good. Keep them for yourself, put them in your friends' stockings, share them. Again, that link is drinklmnt.com/Nahamsha, and the link is also in the description of this video. So the next day, on Sunday, November 23rd, 2 hikers were hiking Mount Monadnock when they got lost and had to call for help. They called for help at 4:15 p.m. and that day sunset was at 4:19. They were hiking, and because of the recent snowfall, they hiked off trail and couldn't find their way back, and their only light source were their cell phones. They didn't have any headlamps with them, and obviously, the sun was going down at this point. They were not dressed for the snow or the freezing temperatures, and the batteries on their cell phones were getting low. Originally, conservation officers tried to help guide them back to trail over the phone by sending them a link with their location and the location of a trail, just try to guide them in the right direction remotely. But because of everything I mentioned, because of their light sources and their cell phones and their poor clothing, they did initiate a search and go looking for the hikers. Officers got to the hikers at 6:40 p.m. They gave them microspikes, hand warmers, headlamps, and helped guide them back down off the mountain, where they got to the trailhead at 7:20-ish p.m. I was looking through the comments under this story, and the top comment said, "All Trails app and a $20 power bank from Walmart." That comment got 18 likes. There are apps that will show you your exact location and reference to the trail, and these apps will make it easy to help guide you back. So I know a lot of beginner hikers might not know about this. I personally use Gaia GPS, and more recently I've been using the new map feature on my watch, which is the Coros Apex 4. And yes, a power bank is such a nice piece of gear to have, because in a lot of these rescues, people's phones do die quick, and especially in the winter when it's cold, the battery can die a lot faster than it usually does. Yeah, Tabitha commented and said, "I think people are unaware that even if you have a phone, they tend to die faster in colder weather. Highly recommend an extra battery bank for winter hikes for that reason, that and the 10 essentials." And then this comment by Michael says that the blazes can be hard to see when it's above tree line and there's snow and ice. He also mentioned that the trail they were on near the Red Spot Trail is one of the lesser hiked trails in the Mount Monadnock area, so it is possible that they didn't really do their research when planning this hike, because most hikers take I think it's the White Cross or the White Dot Trail to the summit. And of course, there were so many comments of people just thanking the rescuers for helping these people off the mountain, which is always really nice to see, having the rescuers get the appreciation that they deserve. The next day, the third day in a row, there was also a rescue on Mount Monadnock, Monday, November 24th. A hiker on the White Cross Trail on Mount Monadnock called for help at 5:23 p.m. after he suffered a lower leg injury and couldn't make it down the steep trail on his own. Conservation officers hiked up the trail towards the injured hiker and they reached him at 6:53 p.m. They were able to give him medical supplies, trekking poles, and water to help him. And with that help, this hiker ended up being able to hike down off the trail himself, so he didn't need a full carry-out rescue. It took him about 53 minutes to hike out on his own, and it is said that both him and his hiking companion were dressed and prepared for the weather. However, they just did not have headlamps with them. There are a few takeaways that we can take from hearing these 3 rescue stories on Mount Monadnock. 1, don't underestimate this hike. Mount Monadnock, I believe, is the most hiked mountain in North America. It's very close to Boston. It's a beautiful hike and it attracts a lot of people. If you look it up on All Trails, it's about a 3-mile hike, and that might seem easy for a lot of people, but it is a very big mountain. You are above tree line for a lot of it, and it can be pretty steep in sections. And with hikes above tree line, you're always more exposed to the weather up there. The snow, the wind, the ice, the frozen trails. There's just a lot that can happen up there. I actually attempted to hike Mount Monadnock in the winter once, and I didn't make it to the summit. I had my micro spikes, but it just got really steep and icy, and I personally wasn't comfortable doing some of those rock slabs by myself, and it was getting towards the end of the day, so I believe I turned around before it started to get dark. Another takeaway is to always bring the 10 essentials with you. I personally would love to add battery banks to the 10 essentials. I consider it my 11th essential. I always have one with me. And it seems like the essential that people most often forget that people seem to need the most out there is headlamps. So always make sure you have your headlamp with you, make sure it's charged, and you can bring an extra one for backup. That's always a good idea. And the third takeaway is to dress properly. Make sure you bring all your layers and you can stay warm up there, especially if you do have to unexpectedly get rescued. You might have to sit on the side of the trail and wait an hour or more for rescuers to get to you. And if you stop moving and it's winter, especially above tree line, you can get really cold really quick. So just make sure you have the layers. I hope everyone stays safe hiking out there and have a great, happy, and healthy Halloween. Halloween? Oh my God. Have a great Thanksgiving. I need to go to bed.